Hello TikTokers, I am now the Christian Relationship Counsellor on YouTube, and I wanted to talk about whether or not selfishness was a sin. If I'm talking about it from a biblical perspective, well, first let's define what selfishness is. Selfishness is when you just think about yourself and you don't think about other people, and it's what a lot of people are calling narcissists these days. But when you think about it realistically, most of us have to think about ourselves first. And even in the Bible, it says that you should love your neighbour as yourself, which implies you must love yourself. You can only love yourself first in order to help someone else, or you need to love yourself first in order to help someone else. So is that selfish to put yourself first? No, it's not. It makes sense. It's sensible. Some people get confused when we're talking about selflessness and selfishness. To me, selfishness is when you are putting yourself first and you are sometimes to the extreme, you're ignoring everyone else's needs. Selflessness is when you're not acknowledging your own needs and you're only acknowledging other people's needs. I think all things in moderation. I don't think you should ignore your needs for the sake of someone else, and nor do I feel that you should just focus on your own needs at the expense of ignoring everyone else's needs. Now, what is the difference between needs and wants? One person's need is another person's want. For example, I feel I need a job in order to feel comfortable and pay my bills and stuff like that. For some people, that might not be a need. It might just be, oh, I want a job. If I don't get a job, the dole will pay me, and so I can live off of that. And some people live off the dole are better off than those people are working. And so for them, they don't need a job. Now, when you think about the homeless on the street, we might think, oh, they need food. So if we approach someone and we offer them food and they snub us and say, look, we don't want food, we want money, you might feel, no, I'm not going to give them money. You know, if they don't want food from me, I'm not going to give them money. Now, for them, that money is a need because they need alcohol. They need drugs. They need whatever it is they need to get them through the situation that they found themselves in, i.e. homelessness. For them, money, maybe they feel they can get money, not money. For them, food, they might probably feel they can get food by themselves any which way. But with money, they can get their cigarettes, they can get their drugs, they can get their alcohol. Now, from a person who's got the money, is it selfish not to give someone, like a homeless person, money because you believe that they are going to buy drugs with it, or cigarettes, or alcohol? Should you be that person who judges that situation? Or should you just give because you have it to give with no judgment? It's a difficult one because we're also told not to throw your pearls to a swine. Now, is your money your pearls? How much value do you put on the money that you have? That's a question you have to ask yourself, because when you are helping or considering yourself as helping a homeless person, you are making a judgment. You are not saying, look, I'm going to give that person X amount of money and I don't care what they're doing, what they do with it. No, you're saying, I'm going to give that person money because they're homeless and they should buy food or drink, not alcohol, with the money I give them. So you're almost making a condition on why you're giving that person money. Now, like I said before, our needs might not be somebody else's needs. And for us, alcohol cigarettes might just be an extravagance. And we don't want it, we choose not to have it. But for them, like I said, it could be a need. So when you're thinking about selfishness, would you be selfish if somebody came to you, you've got money, now somebody says to you, oh look, I need to borrow money, and you know that they are spendthrifts. They're not good with money, they don't manage their money well, which is why they're in the position that they're in. Are you selfish by saying to yourself, no, I'm not going to let that person have any money. That person isn't working. That person isn't in a position to pay it back. That person squanders money. That person has placed him or herself in that situation. Now, are you selfish to withhold your money in those circumstances? Or is it, like I mentioned before, throwing pearl to the swine? I think with regard to selfishness, it's about wisdom. It's about understanding yourself. It's understanding your capabilities. It's understanding your values and your ethics. It's understanding the values and the ethics of the persons or the people you're dealing with. And so, all things in moderation, I believe. I believe if you can help somebody in need, in genuine need, as it says in the Bible, you should do so. I don't believe that you should just help for the sake of helping. So when you're thinking about whether or not selfishness is a sin, like I said, I don't think selfishness is a sin in and of itself, only when to the extreme. Like I said, with narcissists, they tend to only think about themselves. They don't care about what impact they have on another person. They don't care about how you feel. They don't care about doing anything to alleviate your burdens. They just care about themselves, how their needs are going to be met. They don't listen to you. They manipulate you to get what they want. And I think when you're thinking about selfishness from that context, that is sinful. Because the Bible says, you must love your neighbour as yourself. Love is one of the most important commandments. And somebody who doesn't show love and only shows love to themselves, that is not godly. So you need to be able to show love to yourself, i.e. put yourself first so you're in a position to look after other people. And also you need to love other people and show them love. Selfishness has not only got to do with money, it's got to do with your spirit. It's got to do with a spirit of giving. People can give in different ways. It doesn't have to be monetary. But if somebody holds back on everything, they don't want to help you. It's not even about money. They don't want to help you do anything in the home. They don't want to support you in any way. They don't want to listen to any of your plights. Then that is selfish and that is sinful because it's not of God. So you need to be able to put things into perspective when you are considering whether or not you as an individual are selfish. For most of us, we have grown selfish because it's the way of the world, and most of us have been burnt and hurt through being generous, and so we've switched it and become selfish. But it's not about being selfish, it's about being wise. It's about using wisdom in your choices. It's about knowing how to help people. And like they say, is you give somebody a fish and they're fed for a day. You show somebody how to fish and they have food for a lifetime. It's how you help, how you give of your time and your resources, and without expecting anything back. That is what, in my opinion, selflessness, because you are not just thinking about yourself. And so I hope you're going to subscribe to my channel. It is new, so you know how hard it is to get off of the ground. I haven't even had one view yet. But I believe that if I put it out there, the scene